What's going on, world? It's January 20th, 2016. Work Hard Wednesday, back in full effect. We're trying to get this thing popping and going. It's me, Mick Geller. For those other guys, definitely catch the hangout when you have an opportunity, and yeah, keep yourself posted with what's going on. It's already 5:53, and I just time is important, so I want to go over a few things. And then I'll also send out some emails too, because we got to keep ourselves informed about market trends and moving forward for this year. So thank you, Jesus, for allowing us this opportunity. Let's jump right into it with our cheat sheet. For this is for Tarot Twist, obviously, and we're going to create one in, I would say, the next week or so. It could be the next few days. I'm just waiting on Alina's response to give me the rest of the information for the nutritional panel. Once I get that, then I'll create another cheat sheet for us to have, and we'll start going to work with that one. What I also want to do is, because we're gonna be selling that product as well, so it all comes down to us getting back into the habit of getting used to talking about a new product. We've been doing this for a few years now, as far as Tarot Twist is concerned. So we get it. Like we got the run. You know what I mean? We know how to run that game. New product. I mean, for the most part, there's only a few things that we're gonna there's only a few things with the new product that we're gonna do. There's only a few different ingredients in this new product that we're really gonna focus on, because for the most part we kind of kept it intact, and we just threw a few new things in there. But I think we'll get it a lot quicker, just because of the fact that we have experience with understanding our product and knowing what we need to do to bring this new one to life, and not only that, but deliver the information that is needed. So I'm just gonna jump right into it. Uce Juice. Slogan: the never-ending boost. Romance copy. This is more than just another drink. Dare to turn your dream into reality, to inspire a generation to go further, instill confidence in oneself, and transform into a new you. Motivation, determination, and patience. Strength, unity, and peace is our recipe for you to succeed. Join the movement. WhwJuice.com. Bottle type: 20 ounce, 591 milliliters. Heat set and pour. Powerflex long neck PET. Polyethylene terephthalate. Bottle diameter and width 2.582 inches. The bottle height is 8.5 inches. Net weight fluid 619.1 grams. The gross weight fluid and bottle is 659.1 grams, and the finish 38 millimeters. The bottle weight is 40 grams. The nutritional facts: serving size 8 fluid ounces, 240 milliliters, 60 milligrams of natural caffeine per 8 fluid ounces, and then 150 milligrams of natural caffeine per 20 fluid ounces. The servings per container is 2.5, and the calories per serving 70, 175 total in the whole bottle. Calories from fat 0, total fat 0, saturated fat, trans fat 0 grams a piece. Cholesterol and sodium is 0 milligrams. Total carbohydrate 17 grams per serving, 42.5 total. The percent daily value is 6%, 15% total. Dietary fiber is 0 grams. Sugars 16 grams, 40 total. Protein 0 grams. Vitamin A 2%, 5% total. Vitamin C 8%, 20% total. Calcium is 2%, 5% total. Iron is 0%. And then we go to the benefits. Apple juice reduces bad cholesterol levels and enhances the cardiovascular health of a person. The risk of getting heart disease is reduced significantly Helpful for weight loss, improves the functioning and health of intestines, combats constipation effectively, cleans liver and kidneys, and reduces the risk of kidney and liver disease, improves digestion, and eliminates harmful toxins from the body, contains antioxidants, which prevent different kinds of cancer, vitamin C, very good for the lungs, and it lowers the risk of asthma. Mango improves memory and concentration, prevents mental weakness, rich in beta carotene, prevents heart disease and other ailments, combats poor digestion and acidity, very effective for liver disorder, rich in vitamin A, so it's good for your eyesight, makes the complexion fair and the skin soft and shiny. Pineapple contains the enzyme bromeliad, a natural anti-inflammatory that encourages the healing of bruises and swelling in the body. Bromeliad can reduce arthritis pain and post-operative swelling. Also promotes good digestion by helping the body break down proteins. Contains vitamin C, which functions as a natural antioxidant, promotes a healthy immune system, and can help you recover more quickly from a cold. Promotes cell growth, tissue repair, and the body's production of collagen, a protein that plays an important role in the healing of wounds. It helps the body metabolize fats and absorb iron. Noni, protection against the development of cancer, exhibits anti-tumor properties, is an immune booster, and is considered one of the most nutritious fruits. Many of its nutrients are known to stimulate the immune system. Considered a digestive stimulant, traditionally used as a laxative, has been found to be 75% as effective as morphine sulfate in relieving pain without the toxic side effects, effective against bacteria and fungus with active compounds like anthraquinones, scolopectin, and terpenes. Taro is a root vegetable grown in semi-tropical climates. It has a low glycemic index. A low GI means the taro affects blood sugar levels slowly without the peaks and crashes of a high GI, which leads to increased hunger later on. Eating a diet of low GI foods can help prevent diabetes. Contains good amounts of vitamin A and C. Tropical banana contains good amounts of antioxidants, minerals, and vitamins, replenishes energy, and revitalizes the body instantly. Vitamin C helps the body develop resistance against infectious agents and scavenge harmful oxygen-free radicals. The malic acid is an organic compound that is made by all living organisms, contributes to the pleasantly sour taste of fruits, and is used as a food additive. Natural caffeine comes from the raw green Arabica coffee bean and is considered to make milder, less bitter coffee. It is the Adam and Eve of coffee beans grown in Ethiopia as well as 70 other equatorial countries. And there goes our cheat sheet. Let me invite these guys again. It fell off somewhere. Can you hear me? Do you hear me?
Yeah.
All right, cool. So that's that. I got two articles that I came across from GrowthThink. I'm going to go over those two things, and then I'm going to cap it off with some, like I said, some market research that I was doing earlier. So here we go. I want to feed you guys some information. Let me screen share it with you guys. Hey, let's eat. They don't want us to eat. But you know what we're gonna do? We're gonna stuff our faces.
So we gonna feast.
We gonna feast.
The only way.
So here goes the first one. Instead of wondering when your next vacation is, you ought to set up a life you don't need to escape from. Seth Godin. The two most important quotes in business, and I'm just gonna remind you or refresh your guys' memories. We went up like the ones that they're gonna bring up right now is something that we talked about in early stages of starting this company, and the reason why we're refreshing it is because if you think about companies, and you have to be repetitious at everything you do because it's those repeated efforts have propelled you to get to this point, obviously, in business. Now it's through the experience of your business that you see, you're monitoring things and you're seeing what's working, what isn't, and that's why we make the decision to pivot, make changes where they're necessary, so that we can be able to continue to see success in the startup phase. But let me get right into it. It says, if you don't know Peter Drucker, you should. He's known as the man who invented modern business management. He wrote 39 books on the subject and is widely regarded as the greatest management thinker of all time. And Peter Drucker is credited with two of the most important quotes in business management. Here's the first. If you can't measure it, you can't improve it. If you guys remember that, once we came across this information, what did we do? We started taking down everything, data, keeping track of what's being sold, what's being sampled. The list goes on and on. Because if we can't measure it, you can't improve it. You don't know, it's like throwing darts in the dark. When you think about this quote, it should immediately become apparent how true it is, because if you can't measure something and know the results, you can't possibly get better at it. For example, it's nearly impossible to lose weight without stepping on a scale once in a while to measure your results. If you don't, you have no idea if you're succeeding or not. Or it's like trying to improve your golf game, but never keeping score. So you don't know if you're actually getting better or not. Makes sense, right? Now in business, Drucker's quote is particularly true. If you can't measure every part of your business, you can't manage or grow it. For example, do you know the number of new website visitors you received in the last 30 days? And let's be honest, I get the updates, but off the top right now, I don't know. So that's already bam. And do you know what percentage of them turned into new paying customers? I don't know the percentage. So these already 0 for 2. And that's a hard one too, because if we got, well, actually it isn't, because we have the statistics, but it's minimal. It's I know it's like 0 point whatever, because we get a lot of hits, but we haven't learned how to convert those into buying customers. So those are something that we have to work on. The third one, it says, and do you know how the level of satisfaction among your customers has fluctuated over time? We're 0 for 3 already, because I don't even know how to manage, how do you, I don't know how to do that. That's something that was always difficult for me to understand from the gate. Hold on, let me do something right. And that's something that I would need to basically ask questions to someone that understands how do you come across this answer, or how do you get this answer? And do you know the precise average lifetime value of your customers? And that's another one. 3 years in business. I mean, we do have a lot of repeat customers to this day, but still, I just don't know how do you get these how do you get this data, or you find it, and that's something that we need to work on. There are nearly 50 questions such as these that measure each aspect of your business. And if you don't know the answers, if you can't measure them, then you can't possibly manage or improve them. And so what, you look at that, we went 0 for 4. So in those, if we don't know them, how are we gonna be make the improvements necessary? And we're looking at ourselves in the mirror. These are the questions that we need to figure out the answers to, and this is actually the start. I mean, at least we got a starting point to accomplishing the goal of finding the answers. Here goes our starting point. Next one says, and that's why your sales are too low, profits are too low, employee performance isn't high enough, and you need to work too hard and can't take enough time off. Now, let's move on to Peter Drucker's second famous quote. Management is doing things right. Leadership is doing the right things. Let's start with the first piece of this critical quote. Management is doing things right. Well, as we learned from Drucker's first quote, you can't manage and you can't do things right in your business, if you're not measuring it. So that's not happening, and it's hurting your business. And now the second piece, leadership is doing the right things. So my question for you is this: are you doing the right things in your business? Now, before you answer this, let me ask you this. Do you know exactly what you should be doing every single day to generate the most value from your time? And with that answer, another one, I don't know. Every single day, I mean, obviously our goal is to continue to grow our sales. That's, the top on the list. But every single day, honestly, it's like, I mean, I don't know off the top like what it actually is, like what we're actually supposed to be doing every single day. I mean, I'm here, there. I'm working on marketing. I'm working on sales. I'm working on distribution, budgeting, expenses. I'm just kind of like all over the place. I know that if we were to just break it down, because I did come across this information and we've spoken about this in the past as well, if we just made, that's the tough part too, because, or maybe it's just made up in our mind that it's tough, but if we just like set our schedules up accordingly, where we focused on that particular aspect of the business, maybe that would like help us like to grow exponentially. And that's another thought that we need to attack and see what can become of that, because it's management of time, right? That's what he just said. How to generate the most value from your time. If we're doing things that that give us the most bang for our buck out of the day, then we're on the right track. I mean, not to say that we aren't on the right track right now, but we can be more efficient, more effective, and we can see this continue we can grow this thing and to grow it bigger because of those little adjustments that we made with our time. The example that he gives is, do you know when you should focus on improving your website? The only time when I think about that question right there is, I really only look at the website when we have to update the locator app, or if we're doing a sale, or if we've come across, if somebody has given us, like, obviously you guys know we just created our new website with the new features, new imagery. It looks great, but it always could get better, right? So I don't know that when we should focus. I know that we should actually set some time aside, because a lot of our sales, like if we really did put some more time and effort in improving our website, we could see a lot of more sales in 2016. But it's time management. When should we focus on that? Do we know? Do you know when you need to spend time on improving customer satisfaction? Do you know how much attention you need to give to securing new clients? And do you know when you should focus your time on better training your team? So, I mean, the last one, I would say that, Wednesdays are pretty much our time to focus on better training our team. That's like, at least we got that one. Um, do you know how much attention you need to give to securing new clients? That kind of is a toss up in the air. Yeah, that time spent in samplings, that time spent at events, that's what I can think of. I mean, if they're trying to put this in a specific box, once again, another thing that I don't know. And look at it, it says, unfortunately, most entrepreneurs and business owners don't, or their business would be more successful than they currently are. So if we're experiencing the amount of success that we are today, and this says that our businesses can be even more successful if we knew the answers to these examples that we're throwing out there, what is that saying? Okay, well, at least once again, we have the start point. Now we have to take the first step towards finding the answers. I give you these two Peter Drucker quotes along with their interpretation to help you figure out the answer to the question. What is the number one business mistake you are making? Which for most entrepreneurs and business owners is this. Your number one business mistake is that you're running your business blind. You're not measuring your performance throughout your business, so you can't improve. And worse yet, you don't really know what you should even be focusing on. It's like running around in a maze and you haven't kept track of where you've been and you're not sure what to do to get out. So for us, I mean, it's not all bad because obviously we know we're not running around in a maze in some key areas of our business, which is, I mean, the most, what I think about is like sales, because sales keeps the business alive. So I know we're not running around in a maze because we've proven that our sales has increased year after year. Now the other parts of the business, I feel that yeah, we probably are. I mean, because there's a lot of things that need improvement, and yet we just don't know the answers to how to improve it because we haven't managed our time wisely to and put in the effort that is required to get it on a level where we can see the business grow. Don't take it personally. Virtually all entrepreneurs and business owners operate like this. And that's why business failure statistics are so terrible. As you might know, according to Duns and Bradstreet, 91% of businesses fail within 10 years. And according to U.S. Census, only 3.9% of businesses make it to $1 million in sales. Look, man, the U.S. Census, only 3.9. So even in that, like, we throw around statistics because we want to inform ourselves of how difficult it is to not only start, but run, operate, sustain a small business. And we've defied the odds on how many occasions? So many occasions. I mean, we're just putting it out as far as the failure rate for business success, and we've beaten 3 of them already. Now you look at this, 3.9% of businesses only 3.9% of businesses make it to $1 million in sales. We're not supposed to do it. I mean, they don't want us to. We talk. Khaled says it all the time. We messing around like that all the time. But the actual fact is, they make it that hard. Where only 3.9% is gonna make it to $1 million in sales, and we learned like really fast. Like, oh damn, it is hella hard to make it to $1 million in sales. And the thing is like that's not going to deter us from where we're going. We're still going to continue to pursue that goal that we set in place, and we're gonna reach it. No matter how long it takes, we're gonna reach it, and we're gonna beat that statistic as well. The next part, it says, and only 0.6% of businesses make it to 5 million, and less than 0.1% make it to 10 million and above. So, I mean, the odds are not in our favor. We know that. We knew that from the gate. We knew when we first started this, it wasn't even in our favor, because the belief that someone needs to take that leap of faith is pretty much, it's like a crapshoot. Like the leap of faith to hitting a 7 for somebody, like, oh man, I feel like I'm lucky, or I feel like a 7, therefore I'm gonna take this leap. It's you're probably going to crap out. You know, you're probably going to hit the snake eyes or something, whatever. But for us, we just said whatever, like we didn't care. And we're on the right path because of the fact that we've like stuck it out, and you know, through it all, even with this information that's coming into us, because this is new, and it's just more motivation for us to look at and say, you know what, 3.9% of business, we're going to be in that. We're going to be in that statistic. And then we say 0.6%, we're going to be in that. And then we say less than 0.1%, make it to 10 million, we're going to be in that too. And we have to remind ourselves in the daily, regularly, like that's what we're trying to accomplish. It's not about the money, it's about how many lives that we can impact along the way. And that's really fun, you know, that's really the freedom that we long for, that we're yearn for. And not only is that healthy freedom, but what does it do? I guarantee you that because we're so focused on helping people, that the money is just going to continue to come to us. And that's kind of how it works, really. Like, I mean, we get a lot of things that's happened in our journey is because of the fact that we cared more about people than the dollar. Like, we weren't chasing the dollar amount, but we knew that, you know, putting these goals in front of us, these quotas and what we had to do, we knew that in chasing after that, that was going to allow us to help that much more people. And therefore, keep these statistics in mind, because this is obviously something that we want to be a part of. We know how hard it is. Nobody, I mean, as you can see, 91% of business fell within 10 years. We're only on year 3. We got seven more years to make it out of that, like to be one of that 9% that makes it out of 10 years. You know what I mean? The reason for this lack of success is that these entrepreneurs and business owners are running the business blindly. They're not measuring performance so they can improve, and they are focusing their time on the wrong areas of their business. Now, the good news is that there is a solution to this common problem of running blind, and it's called BI, business intelligence. Look at this, brought it back to us. Business intelligence, or BI, refers to computer-based techniques used to spot, dig out, and analyze business data, such as sales, marketing, and production, in order to make significant improvements. Importantly, business intelligence uses the data you already collect in your business. For example, if you have a website, you probably have Google Analytics or another program installed that captures key information like the number of visitors you have to your website each day, where they are coming from, and what pages of your website they're visiting. And you're probably using an accounting software like QuickBooks that includes information about your revenues, expenses, and cash balances. And you might be using a customer relationship management or CRM system like Salesforce.com that identifies the number of leads and sales you generate. And you might be using an email management contact or MailChimp that shows you how many emails subscribers you have and how often they open or click on your emails. Now, you think about all these ones that they just mentioned, and like I said, we're just bringing it back to what we've come across when we, you know, early on. But all this stuff is still valuable for a company because of the fact that, what are we trying to do? We're trying to use the effort necessary to start growing some of the other areas in our business. And all of these companies that they threw out there, are that they could really help us out. And we've been just working on it little by little until you know, because some of these things are pricey, and but at the same time, they do help in a major way for some businesses. And those are the things that, we've learned that it comes in time because we're not ready to fit some of these bills. And so we have to be as cost effective as possible when in this phase of the operations. With the right business intelligence systems, all the information from these applications and programs you already use automatically and in real time is entered and analyzed, so you can quickly see, manage, and improve your performance. Importantly, you do not measure performance so you can improve it, but you instantly spot weaknesses in your company, and those are the areas you should focus your attention on. Remember, leadership is doing the right things. Now you'll know exactly what you should be doing. And that was the first part. But when we talk about things happen for a reason, obviously, when we see ourselves 3 years, like we said, dang man, I remember when we were talking about all this stuff 3 years ago, and now here we are 3 years later, and we're saying, dang, oh man, everything happens for a reason. This information that we're bringing back to the table, those things need to be explored in order to get certain specific areas of our company, certain specific areas in our company to another level in order for us to see the growth that we're looking for. And I'm not sure why these guys aren't getting an invite, but I sent it out to them. Let me try it again. So that was the first one. And then it's on the 625. There goes the second one. And here goes the second one right here. Leadership is doing what is right when no one is watching. George Van Valkenburg, 5 stages of a breakthrough business idea. How do we know it will work? The question always brings a smile to my face when my coaching clients discover a critical breakthrough idea in their business. Their initial reaction includes a lot of excitement and hope. Then the doubt and fear set in. But breakthrough thinking isn't born of doubt and fear. It's born of the ability to let go, remove limits, suspend judgment, and believe in your unique vision. So the answer is you never know if it will work. But if you allow the cycle to happen without sabotaging it with doubt and fear, your idea can stand a chance. When Joanne took her product to market, she was thrilled when a major retail chain picked it up, and it did well. But when she came into coaching, Joanne quickly realized what a fragile position she and her company were in. With 100% of her earnings generated by one retailer, Joanne's company was only one step away from disaster. So we went to work exploring all of the possibilities and opportunities that may lie ahead for her company. Getting her product placed with other retailers helped. But Joanne quickly learned that it would take more to secure her brand in the marketplace. That's when we thought of co-branding. What if she approached popular brands that distribute a compatible product and package Joanne's product right along with it? This could put her company on a whole new playing field. And you know what? It worked eventually. But Joanne and her breakthrough had to go through the cycle of patience, endurance, and persistence. If you're aware of the highs and lows before taking the plunge, you'll be more likely to follow it through right to the end. So here you go. These are the 5 stages I've witnessed as entrepreneurs allow their breakthrough ideas to evolve, taking them to the next stage in life and business. Elation. Some entrepreneurs spend years searching for the solution to their stagnant sales. For some, These ideas and solutions eventually appear, and when they do, the thrill of discovery elicits the hope and anticipation of soaring profits, financial relief, and the taste of success. Enjoy this phase because these feelings feed your energy and passion, both necessary components of success. If you move from the elation phase directly to the doubt and fear phase, your idea is doomed and you will remain in the search phase forever. Exploration. How many ideas have you negated because you're certain they won't work? Yet, you fail to thoroughly explore their viability before dismissing them entirely. Sometimes your initial idea isn't the one that pans out, but by committing to research and further exploration, it's possible that it will morph into something that does work. Don't give up. Before you give it a fair shot, make sure that you have proof in the numbers, the market, or whatever presents itself that the idea is not valuable or viable. And that one, when I was thinking about it, I was like, oh man, so there were so many things that were shot down that we actually didn't even explore them thoroughly. So now that we have that piece of information, now we can say, okay, let's really walk through it step by step and see uh, what the possibility is. And that's why they say exploring it, explore it more so that you know for sure that it either can be a success or it's not viable. So that's something that we need to do. Doubt and fear, the entrepreneurs who do allow their breakthrough ideas to develop often get cold feet as things begin to fall into place. At some point, they must make an emotional and financial commitment to change, and that's scary. So they begin to talk themselves out of the commitment, usually by believing that they're too busy, too broke, or to fill in the blank to pursue their next steps. This is where you need support. Mentors, coaches, and peers are critical at this stage. Surround yourself with people who believe in you and break through the fear by taking one small step at a time. If you notice the first three that we just went through, obviously through the experience, and I mean, we've seen a lot of this. This one right here is the biggest one, and it's not for only us, but we see so many other people like with the same excuses because it's the doubt and fear of the unknown. And like we took it head on, and we're still taking it head on because there's a big it's like the sea, right? It's so deep, and some parts are unexplored, and that's kind of like for business. Like you're just walking in to something that's unexplored, and there's so much doubt and fear of what could go wrong that you end up like your mind's already programmed to believe that you can't do it. So just adding the more doubt and fear into the equation, and that kind of strips you of your confidence, and therefore the steps that you need to take, you end up not taking because there's too much. It's too much mental stress for you to be able to handle, and therefore a lot of people don't want to take those steps towards greatness. Failure, we tend to form expectations and beliefs around how things should unfold and what they should look like as you develop your idea and reach out to manufacturers, prospects of your audience to take it to the next level. You are likely to experience some disappointments. This can feel like a failure point, but if you remove the blinders and open your mind to the possibilities, your idea can evolve and flourish. Joanne was rejected by several brands when she began her initiative, but what she learned in those discussions was invaluable. She went back to the drawing board, and in less than a year, her product line the shelves of hundreds of retailers bundled with major brand products. Failure is failure only if you give up. Breakthrough, it may look nothing like the idea you set out to develop, but your persistence and flexibility has paid off. Don't see this as the end, but the beginning of the next level of growth. Not all breakthrough ideas mean skyrocketing profits, so don't gauge your success entirely by the dollar. What have you learned? Who have you met? Who have you become in the process? A true entrepreneur will always head back to the drawing board to develop the next big thing. but make sure to do a post-mortem on the entire life cycle of this breakthrough first. You'll gain knowledge and awareness that will assist you through the cycle time and time again. That was the 5 stages of a breakthrough business idea. Grow, think. A lot to digest. It's always a lot to digest when we go into this. And, you know, one of the things I have to remind you guys of, we are visual creatures. A lot of the information that is just being brought up today, a lot of it's just going to go in one ear and out the other. And then we're going to see it like this. For the most part, just in reading this alone, it's like, okay, I already heard it before. You know what I mean? It's like, we've been doing this. And you kind of don't want to, I mean, it's only human nature that we're going to think like that, because it's just like a free throw. I know how to shoot a free throw. You know what I mean? But the thing is how can you get better at shooting free throws? Well, you got to figure out, like, okay, the form, technique, the bending of the knees, you know, all those things come into play. How do you do that? Well, it's consistent coaching. Consistent coaching, the practicing, like if you're, you know, the right type of practicing, where you want to understand how to get better instead of just being there. You know what I mean? We're not here just to be here. We're trying to understand, how do we get better with the information that we continue to hear? Okay, we've heard it before, but what can we do with it now? You know, that's how we should be thinking about when we come across things that we know and that we've seen. And then, you know, it's all a part of the entrepreneurial journey. But obviously there was some reason that it was brought up for this particular moment, and it's our duty to recognize why and find out the answers to it. So those are the 5 steps to create our 5 stages of a breakthrough business idea. Right now we have a breakthrough business idea, and, you know, we kind of work, you know, all these things. We didn't even really think of it like this, how they put it in perspective, but these are the things that we've went through. And that is why, you know, we're here today, is because we did see these things and we said to ourselves, oh, okay, we made sure that this was a viable idea to go after and pursue and turn it into a reality. If we didn't start at the end, right? Start at the end. We didn't do the reverse engineering to come back. I really don't think that this would have unfolded the way it has. So we got a few more minutes here, and then 45. Yeah, we got a few more minutes here, and then we're gonna get on our separate ways. So that was that. This is the last part I want to show you guys. I'm not gonna read all of it. That's pretty much on like all of us. I mean, there's a lot of information that I don't know if you guys are seeing this right here. Yeah. There's a lot of information on this. This right here is market research. This is a part of what we need to do to stay in front of the game, to see what's going on. Where do we fit into this whole equation? We got a new, you know, we got a new product, a new flavor coming out, you know, and how are we going to be able to bring this into the market? And not only bring it into the market, but is the market going to be receptive and willing to receive it? Like that's the major point, major part of it. Obviously, Taro Twist, the market was ready for that because we did something that no one else did. Now you're saying to yourself, okay, with a new flavor, how are we going to be able to spin it? And it's by understanding market trends. So the evolving non-alcoholic beverage landscape. There goes a little bit of information from the top of where it's headed. The non-alcoholic beverage space is projected to grow from roughly 160 billion in 2008 to almost 190 billion by 2020. We're in 2016. So this thing is still growing, driven by growth in smaller, emerging, better for you brands. You know who's in that? Who's in that? Smaller, emerging, better for you brands. Uce Juice is right there. That's how this thing is like what the growth is driven by. And we're taking approximately 35 billion of market share in play for small brands. What are we, if this thing is 190 billion is going to reach by 2020, and that 35 billion, we're taking a slice out of that pie, keep these numbers in mind. Like I said, I'm gonna send this out to you guys, and this was from March 15th of last year, but still is valuable information to have, because when we recognize things, when we recognize certain information of where we fit into this whole equation of the non-alcoholic beverage industry, and we're seeing numbers like 35 billion of market share in play for small brands, you have to be excited about that, because they're not talking about 35 million, they're talking about billions. And if you have a niche, like we continue to say, if everyone finds out what their niche is and they're able to tap into that, just imagine what you're going to be able to accomplish. And right here, we're going to be able to accomplish taking a slice out of that 35 billion. And beverage retailers, our beverage retailing continues to evolve. The demand for healthier, fresh, alternative-driven expansion to the perimeter of the store, e-commerce has become a viable channel and increasing area of focus. That's why we need to work on our website, work on Amazon. How do we drive more traffic to our e-commerce? You know what I mean? If there's, what is it? They said that, what was that information that we had? Most of our sales are gonna come from here. If we're doing most of our sales right now from retailer, direct to consumer, just imagine us tapping into a small percentage of online, because a small percentage of billions of people is a lot more than, you know, what we're able to accomplish right now just by ourselves. Like, you think about, we don't have no district. We do our own distribution. We only work with certain retailers. We haven't fully tapped into the market like that. But you have e-commerce that you can tap into this giant market that is willing and looking and wanting to purchase healthier products. Because it says right here, key growth trends driving the industry include health and wellness. That's us. Rise of the smart consumer. That's us. You know, we're providing a product. We're giving them the essential vitamins and nutrients that they're looking for on the go. Consumers want something that they're investing into their health. We fit in that influence of the millennial consumer. We have once we're able to, you know, we've tapped into it, but there's so much more that we can do. And we have, I would say, this little influence with the right marketing, you know what I mean? It could easily just take off like that. Once we come into make those connections. The growth categories to watch: super premium juice, premium hydration, probiotics / kombucha, and craft soda. So where are we at in this whole thing? We're kind of in that mix right there, premium hydration with this next flavor. Once again, take it back, right? I'm talking about starting from the end and working your way back. The second flavor is premium hydration. This is what we're chasing after with this new one. And here we go. It says right here, the growth categories to watch: super premium juice. We're in that premium juice with Taro Twist. It may not be the super like because Naked and Adewale, I mean, we're still right there. I mean, I don't really see what there's like the difference between, or the difference in life expectancy, but I mean, pretty much we fall into those top two categories right there. We got 4 minutes here. I'm not gonna, like I said, man, this is all for us. But if you guys can see right here, the U.S. market size, and this is in billions. CSD, bottled water, juices, that's where we're at. Coconut water, even 0.8. I mean, that's big. So, I mean, we know what our numbers are, where we're at, what market we're in, which is this juice category, which is 30.2 billion. That's what we're concerned about right there. Getting a piece of that. What did the thing say? It's a 35 million that we have an opportunity to take a slice out of. a little bit of insights. So CSDs decline. Emerging better for you segments have tremendous opportunity to grow and take market share. That's what we want to do. The evolving retail landscape. I mean, there's once again, there's a lot of information. It's pretty exciting just to go over this stuff. But I really want you guys to do your homework. I really want you guys. I'm just zooming. I mean, going through this because there's just too much to go through within the next couple minutes. But right here, I mean, here goes a little spot, and I'll probably end it with this part right here. But it says, in conventional grocery trends, the produce section continues to evolve with healthier beverages playing a leading role. As noted by Sherry Frey, health and wellness expert for Nielsen, the one area of the store where we are just seeing phenomenal growth is the produce department. Nielsen estimates the value jump for all produce section beverages, which include smoothies, fresh juices, and teas, as well as water, was nearly 13% in 2014 as the beverage industry and mainstream conventional and mass retailers embrace the transition to healthier, better for you products. We believe there is a tremendous opportunity for emerging beverage brands to gain share. Small brands, which at $60 billion in value in 2008, made up roughly 1/3 of the non-alcoholic beverage market, are expected to grow into half of the segment, representing a $95 billion market by 2020. So small brands took 1/3 of that pie. We're another statistic that we have to look and lock it up in our minds. Like, oh damn, they took 1/3 of 60 billion. I mean, you do the math. 1/3 of 60 billion. Like, that's how much, for us as a smaller brand, we're looking at. I mean, that 35 billion, of course, but this in 08, this is what smaller brands were able to accomplish. And you got to be excited. Like I said, man, you got to be excited. That is pretty much, that's pretty much my time. There's 13 pages, not too much, but I want you guys to go over this stuff right here. I'm going to send it out after this. And then let me stop this real quick. Yeah, I'm going to send it out after that so you guys can all be informed and educated and pretty much get prepared for this next push and this next wave that we're about to bring out to the market. So with that being said, man, I don't know if you guys have any questions or anything, but if you do, feel free. If not, then we go ahead, end it out in prayer, get on our separate ways.
Good.
Cool. All right, man. Thank you guys for your time. I will send that out. Please, 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 man, read it, inform, educate yourselves. This is why we got into this thing, and it's nothing that we haven't done before. We found out this information. This information helped us to understand what we're getting into. This is only another piece of information to add to our puzzle so that we can be able to accomplish the goals that we set in place. With that being said, just want to thank God once again for this opportunity. We give him all the praise, glory, and honor. I ask that he watch over us all as we go on our separate ways. We love you, Jesus. Amen.